Good morning, everyone. So I'm in Trinidad right now on vacation, so I decided that now would be as good a time as ever to make this video about why I'm 33 and I believe that I will never ever be having children. So I made this whole list, compiled this whole list. I edited it, re-edited it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm finally ready to share it and just tell you guys. So I know that there's a lot of videos like this on the net, and I also know there are a lot of women who have said this, and in the future they have went on to have children. But I truly believe that I am different, and that is not going to be the case with me. And so I have in my hand 11 reasons why that is actually true. All right, so reason number one, I have never had a boyfriend. So in 33 years of life, I've never had a boyfriend. I've never had a Valentine. I've been on dates, but they never really resulted in anything. And a lot of times they didn't lead to like a second or a third date. And I pretty much had to come to the realization that I am not someone that a man will ever love, a man will ever value, like, or cherish.
Anybody? Anyone want me? Going once? Going twice? Soul to the streets.
And it was a hard pill to swallow, but I kind of pretty much came to this realization in my mid-20s. Because, you know, I used to cry about it. I used to pray to God, you know, when am I going to find my person? I would go out to events. I tried to be more girly because I was a very big tomboy. I'm still a tomboy, but I have sprinkled it in with a lot of girliness. Like before, I never got my nails done. Before, I never wore fake hair. Before, I wasn't putting on lip gloss. I wasn't wearing dresses. I wasn't wearing skirts, sandals, never got my feet done, stuff like that. But I really tried to change when I went to like events to be more feminine, thinking that I would possibly potentially meet my person, and it just never happened. I actually do not even know how people get into relationships, because how do you meet someone that likes you and you like them back? Because I can't even find someone to like. And the people that like me, they actually really don't like me. They just want to sleep with me. I only ever really meet lascivious men. I actually made like a whole TikTok video about it, but unfortunately I don't have the video anymore. It's on my page, but I'm not going to scroll and find it. But basically it was something in the New York Times, and they were trying to do an article about people who have been perpetually single in their 30s. So I submitted mine, and then I also made a video on TikTok about it. So the New York Times didn't get back to me. I don't know why, because I would be the perfect case study for that. But yeah, I just think that once you hit a certain age and you've never been in a relationship, you can pretty much believe that it's never gonna happen. And then here's the thing, let's say I was to have a boyfriend at 40. If I have a boyfriend at 40, it still takes time for me to have kids, because I have a boyfriend at 40. That's one of my first boyfriend. We have to get to know each other. I have to trust you. That's going to take a couple years. By the time the trust is cemented, I'm going to be like 47, eggs all dried up. I'm not freezing my eggs. I'm not doing any of that. So I just don't see it happening. Like, maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in the next. Like, it just is not realistic. And I just feel like relationships come so easy to everyone, but it just is something that I really struggle with. And I've just never had it. So I don't know, like, love has always been something that's been absent in my life, which is why I give it to myself. You know, I take myself on trips, I take myself on dates, I'll buy myself whatever I want, because I'm gonna spoil myself even if no one else wants to, but that's fine. And I think an even more important thing is, like, let's say I even had a boyfriend, I just would never trust a man. Like, I just know so many horror stories, and although I do think that there are good men in the world, I just would never trust a man to get pregnant by him and actually give birth to our child. I just think that's a little crazy. You know how they have bridezillas? I feel like I would be a pregnantzilla. I'm talking any little thing I want, if you're not getting it for me and I'm within an abortionable amount of weeks, I'm gonna abort it. I'm going fetus deletus. I'm talking, if I see any little switch up in your attitude, like, why am I arguing with a man when I'm pregnant? This is the time when I'm supposed to be getting pampered. I'm supposed to be getting treated like the baby that I'm carrying. There's no reason for me and my man to be beefing, for him to be hot and cold, switching up, not doing what I need him to do, and I'm pregnant with his kid. I'm putting my body, my beauty on the line. I'm putting like literally my life on the line. You can lose your life giving birth, and you think that you're gonna play with me and I'm gonna give birth to your child? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not one of these women that's willing to be a single mother or have children by multiple different men because I couldn't get it right the first, second, third, fourth. No, that's not gonna be me. If I were to have kids, I want all of my kids to have the same mother, which is me, and the same father, which is him, and he only has kids with me. Like, there's not gonna be no side babies. I'm not coming into the situation second, third, fourth child's mother. I'm not doing none of that. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been having an issue with that. And I don't want to come on here like sounding like a man hater or a misandrist, because that's really not what I am. And I do believe that there are really good men in this world, but unfortunately I do not meet them. I have great male friends, I have great male friends, a great male support system, but I'm just not meeting men in a romantic setting that I think are good guys. I just meet the weirdest, lamest, most loserous, unserious, overly emotional, overly attached too quickly men ever. And I'm just gonna share like a couple of different stories about just situations that I've encountered. The men are just overly sexual, just overly going, and I'm just not for it. For some reason, I'm the type of woman where men have placed me in a box where even if they say like I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, I'm just beautiful for the bedroom. I'm not beautiful enough to be the person they want to be in a relationship with. Whereas I have friends who are very beautiful, very pretty, very attractive, very conventionally attractive, and men don't just want to sleep with them. They still want to be in a relationship with them. They still want them on their arm as like their girlfriend, their wife. Unfortunately, I just have not been encountering men like that. So I just rather be by myself and just not entertain men. I don't even know what stories I want to share with you guys, because I have so many horror stories that I don't even know where to begin in my Rolodex of shit experiences with men. But I guess I could tell you this one story, like, because this could have been a cute story if it worked out, but it did not work out. So I'm so embarrassed to tell this story, but this is not gonna go viral, so it's fine. So basically, I really like a lot of dancehall music. So I was watching this guy's music video. He's a big dancehall artist, and I left a comment and I said, yo, this guy in the video is fine. So somebody had liked the comment and then they unliked it. YouTube doesn't tell you who liked it, but I had a dream, and 9 out of 10 times, like, my dreams always come true. So I was like, yo, I feel like this man in the video is gonna DM me. So he DMs me and we start talking a little bit, but of course it just went nowhere. So I'm gonna leave out major details in the story, but I don't think he really liked my mouth, and I make a lot of jokes and I be joking, but a lot of people don't like my jokes. And one of my coworkers said that I have a Seinfeld sense of humor. So people say like I have like dry humor and it's very white people humor. So this is a Jamaican man that I was talking to. So he had asked me if I was married. So here's my thing. If I was married, why would I be on YouTube commenting that other men is fine, and why would I be entertaining your DMs? Granted, I know like a lot of people is cheaters and stuff, but like I'm not into that. Like I don't do stuff like that. And obviously like he would have no way to know, but I just feel like you asking me if I'm married. So I was just like, you know what, I just couldn't help it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just respond with something stupid. So I was gonna just be like, no, but I was just, you know what I told him? I was just like, oh, why? You looking for a green card? And it was a joke, and he got so mad. He was so pissed. He was like, yo, don't think I'm one of these men that be trying to talk to mad girls just to get like a green card. That's not the type of person I am. So I'm like, yo, I was just joking. He's like, nah, I just can't believe you really just said that. I swear to God, I was dead ass joking, but like it didn't come across as a joke to him, and he got tight. And then he kept trying to like FaceTime call me, like, on Instagram. He kept trying to call me, and like every time he would call me, for some reason it would not go through. It was not going through. Like I would not, no, it would go through, but I wasn't getting the notification on my end. So typically when somebody DMs me, it makes the sound. For some reason, when he was trying to video chat me, it wasn't going through. So when I wasn't getting a notification. So when I tried to video chat him, he wasn't video chatting me. We just kept going back and forth, like playing like video chat tag or whatever. So I had sent him my number. I'm like, yo, just call me because that'll make it easier. And then he just dubbed me and we just never spoke again. So I just like, I don't, that's such a silly story, but like I have so many like little stories like that. Like I'll just talk to men and then like it'll just fizzle out like after a week. It never leads to anything serious. And then I don't know, anytime I give a man my number, it just gets sexual real quick. Like I don't even know if I don't want to share any more stories. Like I don't, because it's just like L after L after L after L. Like if y'all want more stories, like I could tell y'all, I could even go more in depth about this story because I'm really leaving out a lot of details, but I just don't feel like it. All right, reason number 2, and this is a reason that nobody takes seriously, and I really don't understand why y'all not taking it serious because I'm so dead ass. So you know the lady with the list on TikTok? She has a very extensive list as to why she doesn't want to have kids. And I think that is more so she just doesn't want to have kids, but I don't necessarily think she has a fear of being pregnant or having children. That's literally the fear that I have. So I have what is called tocophobia, which is when you're scared of being pregnant. I'm scared of being pregnant because there's so many things that can go wrong. And granted, you know, I serve a very good God, and I know that everything will be fine when I give birth, if I were to give birth, which is not going to happen, but I just don't even want to risk it. So I'm scared of being pregnant more so because I have body dysmorphia, so I just want to be very skinny, right? Like I miss when I was really skinny. If I get pregnant, I'm gonna gain weight. I don't want stretch marks. I literally gained over 50 pounds because I was taking medication and it left a lot of stretch marks on my body. I have stretch marks on my thighs. I have stretch marks on my sides of my hips. And then I even got naked the other day. I have stretch marks on my butt. Where did that come from? I have stretch marks here. I have stretch marks here. I have stretch marks here. Like I don't want any more stretch marks. And then I have these deep, dark stretch marks. It took years. I got them in high school. It took years of using shea butter for them to finally fade into like this light color. So it's like this light color, if you can see, but before they were just very deep, dark purple black. Like I don't want to get pregnant and have stretch marks all on the belly. Like I'm sorry, no. And then another thing, you can get pregnant and your nose can get really big. My nose is big enough. I don't need a bigger nose. And then your feet can even get bigger. My feet are the perfect size and I have over 100 pairs of sneakers and heels. You think that I'm about to go out and like get rid of all those shoes to make way for a new shoe collection because my dumbass feet decided to grow 2 sizes?
Nobody likes me anymore. It's these stupid feet.
Oh, now come on. I bet they're not so bad.
No, now!
I have the perfect feet. 38 euro, size 6Y or 5.5 in kids, size 6 in men's, or 7.5 to 8.5 in women. I have perfect feet, and then they're like a size 40 in heels because I have wide feet. That is a perfect size for me. I don't want to go up any bigger than that because I'm small enough to fit into kids, but I'm big enough to fit into men. I'm at like the perfect intersection for feet size. My foot is not gonna grow. It can't grow because it's gonna piss me off. So that's another thing I don't like. And then it's just like the maternity clothes, like they're not hitting for much. Like I don't want to wear any maternity clothes. Like I'm not doing it. And then someone that I grew up with in Brooklyn, she gave birth. She had 2 kids. It's like she has 2 big boys. And then when she gave birth to her daughter Summer, she told me she got diabetes from giving birth to Summer. Now I love Summer, but diabetes, that is so crazy to me. And then there was someone else who came recently. I found this out, I think last year. She said that she got cancer from giving birth. And then you can lose your teeth. You see my teeth? I spent bands to fix my teeth. You think that I'm losing my teeth for a baby? Not worth it. And then the weight gain. Like I said, I want to be skinny mini. I wish I had a flat stomach. So you think I want to walk around with a big belly? It's bad enough my belly is as big as it is. I don't want to walk around with a big belly. Oh my God, are you having twins? No, I'm only having one. And like, I feel like I would be pregnant and I would be trying to lose weight while I'm pregnant. I'm gonna be like in my 3rd trimester and the doctor gonna be like, yeah, you need to gain weight. Your baby is 2 pounds. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like I really I don't care if that's vain. I want to be skinny mini. Like, I'm gonna be so insecure when I'm pregnant. Like, I would be very insecure, like gaining weight, big ass belly. Like, I want to be so skinny. And then my mother, they say that you're gonna look like your mother. My mother never lost the weight from having 4 kids. So I'm the second oldest. She never ever lost the weight. And every time I would bring it up with her, she would be like, oh, well, everybody's body is different. I gave birth. And it's like, Ma, I'm over 30 years old. You gave birth over 30 years ago and you still have not lost your baby weight. None of your babies are babies. I can understand it's like, okay, I was 6 or 7. You know, I can let it rock. But it's like, some people hold on to the baby weight forever. And growing up, I was very skinny, but I realized that was in my genetics. That was because I was athletic. It might have been my genetics, but then when I got on the medication at 16, it messed up everything. So I don't really know, but I don't trust that I'm gonna really be able to snap back like a Coi Leray or an Ashanti or anybody. Like, I feel like I'm gonna need that mommy makeover. And then the main thing I forgot to even mention is the diastasis recti. Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't really believe in plastic surgery or any of that. But if God was to give me diastasis recti, as insecure as I am about my body and my belly, I'm gonna be laying on that table, bro. I'm talking the second I give birth, it's gonna say 6 pounds, 7 ounces. Your baby was born July 13th at 6:05 a.m. At 6:07 a.m. on July 13th, I'm on that doctor's table getting my mommy makeover. It's that serious. Pussy ain't even stitch up yet, getting that mommy makeover. I'm not playing. Like, the diastasis recti, I can't. Like, I'm not, no. And this is just me. And one of the biggest reasons is that I'm extremely scared of the pain that comes with childbirth. And people keep saying, I had a conversation at work. We were having a dinner at work, me and all my staff members. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want any kids. And they kept trying to tell me like, oh, a woman's body is made for that. You're going to have kids. You're going to be fine. Everything is okay. Like, the pain is not even that bad. You know, after I gave birth, I wanted more kids. And I'm just like, y'all sound crazy as hell. Because I guarantee you, this is only some shit that women would say. Because I guarantee you, if men could give birth, they would be one and done all the time. But women feel like we have to put up with this crazy amount of pain and be superwoman. Like, no, I'm not doing it. And the only way, this is about to sound sadistic, the only way I'd really be fine with giving birth multiple times is if, like, let's say I have my husband, and when I'm giving birth and going through the pains, the cramps, the contractions, he's wearing that pain thing. You know, like how they have that machine where people can feel the cramps? If every time I'm going through that, he's wearing it too, I'd be fine. Because, okay, I'm in pain, you in pain too. Like, you're not just gonna stand there just watching me give birth and giving me like water and ice chips and holding my hand. No, you're not doing that. You're gonna feel the pain that I'm feeling too. I don't care. Like, I don't believe that I need to be in so much pain. No, like, it's not fair. And then there's some men that you give birth, they don't even want to get their tubes. They don't even want to get a vasectomy. They want you to get your tubes tied. Why can't I give birth and you get a vasectomy? Like, they don't want to do anything. Like, nah, it's not it's not fair to me. Like, it's not fair to me. Like, I'm extremely scared of the pain that comes to childbirth. You're talking to somebody who people think I have a high pain tolerance, like, just because, like, when I'm going through painful things, I don't be screaming and crying. But you're looking at a girl who gets her Brazilians with numbing cream. And yeah, I feel bad for the woman that fell for the propaganda of, oh, numbing cream doesn't work. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it worked like the first 3 times, and I feel like after that it became a placebo. But I don't care what the waxer says. I need numbing cream. And you think that I can give birth when I have to get a Brazilian with numbing cream? Absolutely not. And I hate that it's just like expected of women. And then I don't want to stretch my twat for non-jit. Like, I really don't. And then sometimes, like, if your canal is not opening wide enough, they take a scissors and they cut it. That's evil. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't. I'm just extremely scared of the pain. And then the problem is, I also want to do a natural birth. I don't want an epidural, but I'm scared of the pain. My mom had all 4 of us natural. I don't know why. Like, I really want it to be natural, but it's not happening. Like, I just don't think I'm strong enough to deal with the pain of childbirth. And I be looking at it like, yo, everybody did it. Like, you could do it. And it's like, you can't though. You can't. And it's okay. And then reason number 3 I cannot afford them, and I'm extremely fiscally irresponsible, and I'm not one of those people that's gonna rely on the government or a man, and I'm not one of those people that's just gonna leave it in God's hands, because I feel like faith without work is dead. And there's just so much wishful thinking that goes into having children that I've observed with people. People will just say like, oh, you'll figure it out. You're unemployed, you're broke, your man left you, don't worry, you got this. Mind you, I gotta have it on my own. They're not gonna help me. I gotta have it on my own with no money. And you think that, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make any, it's very nonsensical to me to have a baby and be broke. I just feel that I truthfully cannot afford them. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all right now. Y'all gonna judge me and I don't really care. I'm extremely fiscally irresponsible to the point where all of my credit cards are maxed out. My Discover card is maxed out, Merrick Bank is maxed out, Amex, Capital One, Mission Lane, MCU. I owe money to Social Security, IRS. I owe student loans. I even owe Klarna. I'm extremely fiscally irresponsible. And you want me to add a baby to that mix? You think like there's never gonna be a day where I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna buy these shoes because I have to buy diapers and baby wipes. Hell no. That's not happening. Like, I'm not sacrificing my current lifestyle for a baby. And I really do enjoy living above my means. I'm in Trinidad. Like, if y'all knew how much I had out here, y'all would be like, girl, go home. Why did you even come? But yeah, I don't mind like being unrealistic, like when it comes to me, right? Like so for instance, my budget was very stretched thin because certain things happened. Like, I had to pay my jeweler, then the IRS took my money, and then I had to pay like some other crazy bills, so that really cut into my budget. I'm fine with being unrealistic and irresponsible when it comes to me, but when it comes to a baby, no, I'm gonna go all out for my baby. So I can't with the nonsense. I can't, God will provide. No, God will provide for me, but I don't wanna jeopardize that and put a child in it. Like, I want to be more responsible. I feel like in order for me to have a baby, all my bills need to be paid off. I need to have a nice big house, and I need to have at least $30,000 saved, which I don't have none of that. None. And then I don't even know where we're gonna live. A 2 to 3 bedroom apartment is wild bread. I live in a studio. My studio is $3,000 a month. $3,000 for a studio, and most of my clothes and shoes can't even fit there, so I'm still paying for storage fees. So if my studio is $3,000, imagine how much a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment is. I need you to think about that. So no, I'm not. Where are me and my child gonna live? Where? And how will I afford daycare? Daycare prices are so expensive. They're so ridiculous. I don't know how any of my friends are doing it. I just went to see my friend's baby, and she's already talking about having another child. We were talking about it. Her man was just like, yeah, let's get our house first before we try to have any more kids. With everything I've been talking about when it comes to finances, I've just been saying me, I. Granted, if I were to have a baby, I would be with a man. He'd be my husband. There'd be a good partnership. But you always have to be prepared to do everything by yourself, especially when you're a woman, and a black woman at that. So I would never leave any of this in a man's hands. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know that in case he decides to leave, dip, get fired, act up, I can pay my rent, I can pay my daycare for my baby, I can pay all these bills, you know? And right now I can't do that. Well, that led into reason number 4. You always have to be prepared to operate by yourself, because what do I look like being a 33-year-old baby mother? Like, you get grace being a baby mom when you like a teenager, your early 20s. Once you hit 26, 27, once you hit your 30s and you're a baby mother, you look stupid. Like, you're the biggest dunce on the block. Here's your dunce cap. Here it is. Because what do I look like? 33, first kid, baby mother, dunce cap back on. It don't make no sense. Why the dunce cap not staying on? Like, I gotta make that make sense. Every time I hear these horror stories about, like, it was one lady, she was a virgin, lost her virginity in her 30s, became a baby mother then too. Make that make sense. You had your whole life to be stupid. In your 30s, I feel like I'm at the age where I have wisdom to impart on the younger girls. What do I look like being a baby mother? It don't make no sense to me. As a woman, you always have to know that men will say things and they never say what they mean. They never say what they mean. So you have to know that you cannot believe a man when he says certain things. Like, I learned that from my father. My father is the biggest liar that I know. So if I meet a man and he was to tell me the sky is blue, I'm gonna have to, I gotta look up, because clearly the sky is purple and orange. A man tell me I'm pretty, all of a sudden I'm like, you sure? Like, I now I'm questioning it because a man said it. Like, you always have to be prepared to do it by yourself, because I know so many women who are in situations where a man got them pregnant, said that he really wanted to be with them, wanted the baby, and then he dipped. I don't really want to share those stories because they're personal, but you could just go on TikTok and find some. That's not gonna be me. I can't look stupid, especially I'm always on the net talking about how I don't want kids, I don't want this, I don't want that, this and that, and I don't want to look dumb and da 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 da. So imagine me popping up big ass belly, no man, no ring, pun, finger, crazy. And then reason number 5, let's say I give birth to a man's baby and the relationship doesn't work out, even though I feel that once I give birth to a man's baby, me and him, we locked in, gang. We together forever. I don't want no bitter child's father if we have a breakup. I don't want no crazy breakup. I don't want no divorce. I don't want no man doing wild stuff. I don't want no man making it super hard for me. I don't want, we live in New York, you decided to up and move to Colorado, the judge approved this, so now every time you gotta see your baby on the weekend, I gotta put the baby on a flight to go and see you. Like, I don't want none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some men, they'll be so bitter. Like, you could get in a relationship and they're making it super hard for you. They just do dumb stuff. They're supposed to pick up their child, they cancel last minute. You gotta argue with them to get money to help support their kid. They don't want to do none of that. They acting just immature and dumb. Like, I don't have time for it. Because me, I'll block you real quick, but I can't do that because it's not fair to my child. I want my child to have their mother and father, so I'm gonna have to be the mature one. And I hate doing that because me, I'm the cut off queen. When I tell you I cut a bitch off quick, like, I don't have time for that. I cut men off so quick. Like, I don't have time to entertain nonsense. I don't. In my life, with my luck with men, I know that I would have, like, if he was able to put a mask on for so long to the point where I ended up marrying him and getting pregnant by him, imagine us breaking up. I just feel like his true colors would really show and it would just be some nonsense. Thankfully, I'm lucky where men are only able to put on a mask for so long. They put a mask on for like a week and then it falls off and then they give up. They're like, oh no, this one's too difficult, forget it. Thank God for that. Like, God's rejection is God's protection, but I'm scared, like, to ever meet a man who's so skilled and cunning that he's pretending to be this good person. He's even able to pretend while I'm pregnant. And like I said, while I'm pregnant, I'll be pregnant-zilla. I'm talking any little thing you don't do for me, fetus, deletus. And I wouldn't even tell you because we're not arguing, we're not going back and forth. It's not going to be no ABBA situation with that girl scheduling and unscheduling abortion. Fuck, I look like. I scheduled it on Monday. It's done. It's done. It's done. I'm not going to tell nobody about that. I'm just doing it. My friends probably wouldn't even know I was pregnant. I just did it. And then reason number 6. So I truly could get depressive periods where I no longer want to be here. If I have a child, unfortunately, I will have to stay alive for that child, and I think that is unfair for me. So I will not be able to unalive myself if I have a baby because I have to be living for that child. And I just don't think that's fair for me, and I just wouldn't unalive myself if I had a baby because I want to be there to protect my child. I want to ensure that they're not getting there's no PDFs around, like there's no one trying to hurt them, there's no one putting misinformation in their head, there's no one leading them astray. There's just so many things you have to consider. I want to make sure they're getting a quality education, they're eating good food, they're wearing good clothes, their hair is done, like they're happy, healthy, and I want them to get to know me as a person. And I want us to have a great relationship. So I wouldn't be able to unalive myself if I have kids. And I truly feel like that's not fair to me. I think that I was born into this world. I didn't want to be here, but unfortunately I'm here. But I feel like that's the way I would probably go, I think. And it's not fair to me that I wouldn't be able to unalive myself if I have a child. Like, I think that it's every human's right to be able to do that. And yeah, that's probably an unpopular opinion because people feel that once you're here on this earth, that you have to stay until you know, go by natural causes or whatever. But I think that I should be able to go by my own hands if I want to. And that's just my belief. And number 7, this is also a very important reason. I don't have a support system, so I would have to be heavily reliant on my child's father's family, well, my husband's family, right? And I would really have to ensure that he has a really good family, that they're welcoming of me, so that I know they'd be probably welcoming of our child. And I just, my friends, most of them don't have kids, and the ones that have kids, they're like in other states, or like my 2 closest friends, they don't have children, and they also don't like kids. They're not really good with kids, so I wouldn't even be able to leave my kids with them. Let's say I needed a break. And I don't talk to any of my family. That's a long story. Like, I haven't spoken to them in years, so I don't have anybody. Like, I don't have any support system, nobody to help me with my kid. If I have a day where I don't feel good, I'm tired, I just want someone to watch the kids, it's gonna have to be like my husband or my husband's family. And I just have this thing where I wouldn't trust my child anyone but me. And I think that when you don't have a support system and you have a child, that's not a good thing. So on my side of the family, my child's only gonna have me. I'm gonna be the person to put them in tune with their Trinidadian culture. I'm the person to put them in tune with all of that. They don't have me, they only have whatever their father is, and they're not even gonna have any cousins, they're not gonna have any cousins, any uncles, aunts, grandparents on my side. They only have family on their father's side. And yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. That's kind of one of the main reasons I don't want to have children, because I just feel like it's not fair that their family is going to be so small. Like, I grew up, I only had my mother's side, and it was a very small family, and I just wouldn't want to redo that with my children. And so reason number 8, the world is bad, and the forces that be are actively working to make it a worse place. I'm very scared of like school pew-pewers. I'm scared of PDF files. I'm scared of someone trying to grape my child. I'm scared of child molesters. I'm scared of all of that. And I don't know, I don't want to bring, I don't think this is a good world, so I don't want to bring kids in here. I don't even want to be here, so why am I bringing a child into this mess and this dysfunction? All right, reason number 9, I was abused as a child, so I would never trust anyone with my children. Like, I don't want you babysitting my kid, I don't want you picking up my kid and kissing them, I don't want you changing my child's diaper, I don't want to leave my child at school for extended periods of time, I don't want my child having any sleepovers, not even with their grandparents, their cousins, aunts, uncles. Like, I don't trust any of that. Like, I'm just never gonna trust anybody with my kids, because my parents did that and it didn't lead to good things. I'm not gonna go into what happened to me as a child, just use your imagination, but it's one of my biggest fears when it comes to having a child. Like, a lot of people would assume that, your best friend can be trusted with your kid, your dad, your grandpa, but sometimes those are the people that will do the most harm to your child, unfortunately. And I just don't have it to where I think I would ever be able to trust anybody. Like, I would not want my kids to be at school. I wouldn't want them to ever be outside of my sights. And that's not healthy. Like, and this is the thing, like, I don't ever want to have to constantly worry about someone for the rest of my life. Having a child, you're going to have to do that, and I don't want to do that. All right, and then reason number 10, I kind of worry about the human that my baby will become. So I want a baby, and I want my baby to be a vegan like me. I don't want them to use the N-word. If I have a son, I don't want them to be a fuckboy. I don't want them to be hurting women, doing bad things. This is too much, but like, I don't believe in tattoos. I don't want my child to have tattoos. And it's just like, this is a lot of control already. I can't control all of that with a child. And then I get worried, like, I know that this is not gonna happen, but like, what if my kid were to commit a terrible crime? What if I gave birth to, God forbid, like a Jeffrey Dahmer, a Ted Bundy, a Donald Trump? That's crazy. And what if I give birth to a child that's depressed like how I was, and they have like attempts like I did, but instead of having attempts, they're actually successful and they actually unalive themselves? How am I gonna live knowing my child was in so much pain that maybe I knew about or didn't know about, and they actually unalive themselves? That would eat me up inside. I would not be able to survive. I feel like the world's worst mother. What that note says, oh, it's not you, mommy, you're amazing, like, it's not you, I was just in so much pain. No, I should have been able to take the weight of the world off your shoulders, and I wasn't able to. No, that's not gonna work for me. All right, reason number 11, I love my bachelorette lifestyle. Literally, I'm in another country by myself, didn't have to notify anybody except my job, and I notified them the day I got hired that I was going to be in another country. If I was to do this and have a husband, he'd have to know, he'd probably want to come, then my kid might have to come. Like, I'm not going to be able to just do these random sporadic trips, and that's just something that I like to do. I'm gonna always have to tell someone. I don't like having to tell people where I'm going. Like, I'm the type of person, I would just wake up in the morning and like my tummy hurts, so now I'm booking a trip to Vegas. I don't want to have to explain what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm buying. Like, I don't like that. Like, I like my bachelorette lifestyle. I like just everything I do is just me. Like, I just like the way I live, and I won't be able to do that if I have a baby and a husband, because with the baby comes a husband. Because again, no baby mother over here, big ring on finger. I don't know, I don't want to give this up. Like, this is just so much freedom to do whatever I want. I really truly do enjoy my freedom. I don't like being tied down. And then this is a bonus reason, but so my psychiatrist told me that I shouldn't have children because if I do, they're gonna have my bipolar disorder. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't want anybody else in the world to have bipolar disorder.
I didn't ask to be born with bipolar disorder, and nobody does. And I used to think that something was really seriously wrong with me and that a person like me could never have a successful life. I didn't really think I was ever going to have much of a life at all, but here I am.
So yeah, I have bipolar disorder, I have autism, which makes it really hard for me to interact with other people, which is why I just, say the wrong things. I'm really blunt, and a lot of people don't like me, which is another reason why I don't have a good support system. So I don't want to give birth to a child and they have like my bipolar disorder or they have autism, and then the higher functioning you are as an autistic person, the worse it is, because people look at me, they cannot tell that I'm autistic. There's only a few people who've ever been able to know based off things that I've said, but most people don't know that I'm autistic. So they look at me as I'm just being rude. Now, if I was like, let's say, I guess lower on the spectrum, where I couldn't talk, or, the way I spoke wasn't as coherent, you know what I mean? People would be more like, oh, okay, she has a problem. But because I have an invisible disability, it makes it really hard, and I wouldn't want my child to go through that, So I don't know, I want to make my child's life as easy as possible. I want to give birth to a beautiful baby, beautiful head of hair, beautiful body, beautiful personality, intelligent. I want them to have everything they need to succeed in this life. It's going to be 10,000 times harder for them to succeed if they have bipolar disorder and autism, because it's been hard for me to succeed, and this is one of the reasons why I'm single with no friends, because of these diseases. They have ruined a lot of my life, so I don't want to pass that down to a baby. So these are my reasons why I'm never having kids. Argue with your mother. Don't try to convince me. Don't care what you say. Don't care what you think. This is my poom poom, not yours. Not having no kids.